What's up, people? Welcome back to the episode. That was weird. Welcome back to Sports and Superhero Podcast. If this is your first time checking out the episode, this is a podcast where we talk about sports and superhero entertainment news of the week. My name's Gershon. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Marcus. I'm doing sports side. Gershon is doing comic books and movies and TV shows and all the other
Yep,
things.
all the superhero stuff. Yes. So if you are first time watching, appreciate you coming through. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. And follow all our social medias down below, all the links and stuff like that. TikTok, Instagram, all that's down below. Also, if you got questions, we got email for questions in there, and we have voicemail. You can leave us voice messages. So if you have a question you got to talk to us about, that's a minute long. It's got to be a minute long. You go ahead and give that to us. But speaking of which, we actually have a voicemail for this week. So without further ado, let's check out one of our voicemails we got this week.
Hey guys, love the show. I just had a question for you. On the sports side of things, we got the NBA playoffs starting off. I'm just wondering if you think that the playoffs are too watered down when like 2/3 of the league makes it into the playoffs with these playing games and such. Just curious if you like that or if there's something you would do to fix the NBA playoffs. Thanks.
Okay, appreciate the voice message. It's from
Yeah.
Anonymous. You don't have to say your name or put your name down. You can be anonymous. You can put the letter B, whatever. But appreciate the voice message. This is clearly a question for Marcus. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a question that I would be able to answer. But Marcus, yeah, I know the playoffs is about to start in the NBA
Yeah.
because I was at my wife's grandma's house and the Bucks were playing. Who were the
Detroit.
Bucks playing? Detroit. And I heard them say, yeah, yep, this is a game that decides if Detroit gets close or get put out the playoffs or something like that. But I was like, isn't Detroit already out of the playoffs? Haven't they been losing like terribly?
Mhm. All right. Oh, well, I'm gonna jump in. I'll let you know the info. First, I
Okay,
want to say
okay.
I want to say thank you to our listeners for supporting and listening to the show. Greatly appreciate it. And I want to say thank you for leaving the voicemail. Like I got excited when I heard the voicemail. But to answer your question, um, I I don't think it's watered down, and my reasoning why I don't think it's watered down, like you said, like 2/3 of the league does make the playoffs. The It's a lot of teams, but it gives teams something to play for towards the end of the season. Because normally you'll have low management where a lot of stars are sitting out, like teams who's not making the playoffs, like the ninth and 10th seeds. Like
Hmm.
with the new play-in, the ninth and 10th seeds have a chance to make the playoffs. And I realize as I'm saying this, I might sound a little biased because the Chicago Bulls are in the ninth seed.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think because towards the end of the season, like on the West side, I don't think it really matters that much because usually the
Okay.
West the standings are so close that
Hmm.
one game lost, like you lose one game and you can go from like fourth to sixth or completely out the playoffs. So with the play-in, it still keeps those teams, especially in the West, in contentions, and you still get some good matchups. For instance, in the play-in tournament right now on the East side, you have number 9 Chicago playing number 10 Miami, and you have number 7 Orlando and number 8 Atlanta. And then on the West side, you have number 9 Sacramento Kings versus number 10 Dallas Mavericks. And then this is the most exciting playing game there's going to be this season. You have number 7 Golden State playing number 8 Memphis. That game is going to be the most exciting game in the playing tournament because Golden
Oh, okay.
State and Memphis, they do not like each other. Like
Oh,
they do not like each other because like Golden State's kind of like the old team, and
yeah,
Memphis the up and coming team, and they got a lot of swag. Jobby talking mad trash. I mean,
yeah,
Steph is a living legend, and Trayvon with his antics. But now Golden State gets Jimmy Butler, so that adds another dynamic to the series. That that series, that's the one, the playing game I'm looking forward to the most to watch.
okay,
Uh, and actually, that game is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Um,
okay,
man, that's gonna suck. So that means I'm not gonna be able to watch that whole game. But yes,
yeah,
so yes, Memphis and Golden State plays tomorrow night at 9 p.m. and Atlanta and Orlando plays at 6:30 tomorrow. I think that's gonna be a good game too. I like Pablo Banchero for Orlando. They
okay,
fell to the seventh seed. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries. He got injured for a while, and then the second player, Franz Wagner, got injured. They both had the same injury. It was weird, oblique injury. Um, so yeah, and then I think, I think my Bulls can beat Miami, but also while I'm talking about this, I guess I should kind of explain the playing tournament a little bit.
yeah.
So
I ain't gonna lie. I was just about to ask you because that's the first time
okay,
I heard the whole play-in tournament aspect.
okay, so like for instance, Chicago number 9 plays number 10, Miami.
Okay,
Whoever wins that game becomes the ninth seed. And then you have number 7, Orlando, and number 8, Atlanta. Whoever
okay,
wins that game between Orlando and Atlanta automatically becomes the seventh seed. So the 7th and 8th game, if you win that game, you go automatically into the playoffs. But the
okay,
loser of the Orlando and Atlanta game, the loser of that game plays the winner of the Bulls and Miami game. I mean, it'll be like if you have the diagram in front of you, it'll be easier to see.
yeah. So there's
So,
like a loser bracket where you still get a chance to get in, but you go to that
right,
bracket and you have to win in that bracket or to it.
right.
Okay, yeah.
So, if you're the ninth or 10th seed, you have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs. Whether if you're the 7th or 8th seed, you got the winner of the 7th, 8th seed, you need 1 game to get in. Because typically in the past, it was just the top 8 teams made the playoffs. But when they add the play in, now it's the top 10. Well, yes, the top 10. And
Okay,
then, okay, so let's say hypothetically, the Bulls beat Miami, right? And I think Orlando is going to beat Atlanta. Say hypothetically, Orlando beats Atlanta. Orlando goes to the playoffs as the 7th seed. Then the Bulls will play Atlanta. And then, because Atlanta lost to Orlando,
yep.
and the Bulls will have beat Miami. So then let's say hypothetically, the Bulls, because this is my hypothetical, so I can pick who I want to win.
Of course.
Let's say hypothetically, the Bulls beats Atlanta, right? So then the Bulls will make it into the playoffs as the 8th seed. And then they will lose in the first round because then they'll play Cleveland, who's the number 1 seed. So,
Whoa. Cleveland is good, right? Well, Cleveland has
oh,
that
Cleveland had
one
like
dude number 45. What's his name?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Cleveland went on
He
like a
been balling?
yeah, Cleveland is good. They went on like a 20-game winning streak early in the season.
My
Yeah,
bad. Cleveland, I didn't
yeah.
know your game. Sorry. Uh, 'Cause,
But
I mean, I've only heard terrible things about Cleveland since LeBron left. But I guess that's been a long time ago, so they had time to rebuild and get new pieces, move things around. So okay.
but yeah, I at first when the playing tournament first started, I didn't understand it. I'm like, I don't like it. But now that it's been implemented for a few years, I like it. So
Okay.
me myself personally, I wouldn't change anything about the playoff format right now in the NBA
Okay. Okay.
because
Well, there you go.
it,
That's
it,
he,
it's yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but more or less, it it gives the bottom teams in the East for those teams to something to play for. But then on the
yeah.
West, because like I said, everybody's record is usually so close that you don't want to have a good team that should have made the playoffs fall out because they lost one game. So it definitely keeps
Understandable.
the West side more excited and more interesting. 'Cause like I said, you got Golden State and Memphis playing each other in a play-in, and if they just did the top eight, we would not have that matchup at all.
True.
So,
True.
so yes,
Okay.
yes, it's gonna be fun. But like I said, the play-in starts tomorrow with Atlanta and Orlando playing at 6:30, followed by Golden State and Memphis, and then on what's tomorrow Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we have the Bulls and Heat at 6:30, and then Dallas and Sacramento at 9 o'clock on Wednesday night.
Mm, okay.
Uh, and those games will be on TNT. So yeah, tune in to TNT the next two
Okay.
nights to watch the playing games.
Okay. Well, so those are our thoughts on it because I have whatever thoughts Marcus has because I just learned about it. So and I think that is a good idea to get teams to still keep playing instead of just sitting their starters, sitting their stars. This gives them something to play for. I know the NBA has been trying to figure out not necessarily gimmicks, but new ways to excite the game and get people back to the game and make them more excited to watch. This could be one of them. This could help. We'll see. Is this the second year you said they implemented this, or how
Uh,
long has this been going on?
Hold on. I think it's
See, I be
been.
asking Marcus questions that he don't be knowing at the moment, which
Uh,
I be
hold on.
interested. That lets you know I'm paying attention.
I think it's been like 3 or 4 years now. I have to double check.
Okay, so we can kind of
Also,
see if this is bringing some more viewers or if it's doing what it seems what they wanted to do is get people to keep watching.
I want to say before we move on that my sleeper team in the playoffs is the LA Clippers
Okay.
because quiet as kept. Like James Harden is playing like he was back in Houston, and
Yeah.
then Kawhi has quietly been ramping back up, and and he's playing really good basketball. They
Okay.
had an overtime. They're the reason why Golden State is in the play-in because the Clippers played Golden State
Did they
yesterday
win?
afternoon. They
Okay.
won
Yeah, I
in
saw some of
overtime
that game.
because one of the key players, Draymond, instead of just taking the layup, he tried to draw a foul and he missed the layup because he jumped backwards trying to get the foul and he missed the layup. It was a
Mm,
key moment in the game in overtime, and they end up losing.
mm,
Uh, wait,
okay.
I'm
Yeah, I
yeah.
seen the beginning of that game, and they were really surprised how Kawhi was moving because I know he's been hurt for a while, and they say he's moving like kind of old Kawhi. He's getting moving around on the court, and when he's playing good, he's hard to stop. So the Clippers might be back because Kawhi is great on defense, and he can score when he wants to. Like
Yeah,
if he's healthy, you got a chance. So that's good
right.
to hear. That's good to hear.
And to answer your question, the play-in has been around since 2021. So yeah, I was right. 4 years.
Okay. So that's a decent amount. I usually they want to wait till like after something's been going on for 5 years and kind of see where intellect I can't say that word where it's at and if it's improving what they want to improve and if not they'll push back. But since
Yeah.
it's seems like people like it though.
I was,
So
I was, I got one more thing before we move on because it's like so much stuff has been happening.
okay.
Another interesting. Speaking of the Clippers, they're going to play the Denver Nuggets in the first round. Uh, Denver just fired their head coach last week. No, yeah,
Oh
last
yeah,
week. Like 3 4 days before the playoffs. Like
I seen that.
that's insane because even if even if you don't like your coach and you don't like what he's doing, you gotta let this ride out. Denver is a fourth seed
Yeah.
in the West. It's been a different thing if they
Well,
were not making the playoffs at all or they were in the playing tournament. Okay, I understand. You fired your coach. But they're fourth in the West.
yeah.
A playoff team trying to make another championship run and you fire your coach. I don't. Did, this has never happened. Like when coaches of playoff teams is getting fired right before the playoffs. I mean, Memphis did the same thing a few weeks, like 2 weeks ago. Like it is
True.
insane. It is crazy. I would say the most shocking thing that's happened in the NBA thus far is was the Luka trade, and then Denver firing their coach right before the playoffs. Like it is insane.
Yeah, that seems like something you would hold off on, at least get through the playoffs and not shake the boat up too much. And pretty sure bringing in a new coach or making one of your assistant coach step up to be the head coach to coach through the playoffs is kind of a shakeup you probably don't want your team to have going into the playoffs. But
But
unless his man did something drastically wrong to a player and they was like, I'm not gonna play if you don't get rid of this guy. This seems
well,
kind of
just
weird.
gonna touch on it a little bit because I know we gotta move on. But from what I've heard that apparently, and I hate that it has to be this player. I hate that it has to be this player. But apparently, the team didn't like how he was handling Russell Westbrook. Like apparently,
Ah,
he was giving Russell Westbrook a lot of leeway, like on the court and off the court,
oh,
and the rest of the team didn't like that. And it was like, well, why do he get to do yada yada yada? And you know, so that's where I don't know if it's true, but that's kind of what's been put out there. And like I
okay.
said, I hate that it's Russell because these last few years, anything that go wrong with the team, he gets blamed for. He
True,
becomes the
true,
scapegoat. Oh,
true.
yeah. So
He
yeah,
do get hit hard. Okay. Interesting. Well, that is, like I said, our answer to the voicemail. Once again, appreciate the voicemail. Appreciate you supporting the shows. Appreciate you watching it. And if you guys have a voicemail or voice message you want to send us about sports or superheroes, and it's not weird, we'd definitely love to answer it, love to play it on the podcast. But like I said, now let's go ahead and hit that first topic. So, Marcus, go ahead. What's your first topic for tonight?
I already tapped in, sir.
Oh, you gonna use it?
That,
Okay, okay,
that was
okay.
it because I
I
talked
wasn't
about the
sure.
NBA.
I wasn't sure. Okay.
I mean, I mean, anything else I have to say is I can give you the matchups that we do know who I think will win. I can let's do that right quick. So,
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that.
okay, we don't know who Oklahoma City is playing yet because they're going to play the eighth seed. So we don't know if they're going to play Memphis, Golden State, Dallas, or Sacramento. We
Okay.
don't know yet because we have to let this play-in tournament go out. But then you
Mm-hmm.
have Denver playing the Clippers in the 4-5 matchup. I mean, there's really, and I don't know who to pick in this, but I like Jokic. I know Jamal Murray has been hurt. I don't know if he's back yet,
Oh.
but since Denver is fired a coach, and the Clippers is my sleeper team, it's only right that I go with the Clippers. I say this year is probably go about 6 games. I say Clippers in 6.
Okay.
And then you got the Los Angeles Lakers playing Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm a big Anthony Edwards fan. I like Luka too, but LeBron plays for the Lakers, and I don't want to see the Lakers win. So I'm picking Minnesota.
Come on. You can't
Minnesota.
believe these Wolves are going to be able to munch down on these Lakers.
Yeah,
Lakers in 5.
give me Minnesota in 7. And then Houston.
7.
And then Houston, we don't know who they play because they're going to play the 7th seed, whoever comes out to play in the tournament. Houston is a young team with a few veterans and a really good coach. So I think either way, it doesn't matter who Houston plays in the first round, they're getting past the first round. And I'll say the same thing for OKC. Actually, I would love to see OKC and Houston meet up in the playoffs. But I think in order for that to happen, both teams will probably have to make the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, they definitely would. That's the only way that would happen. Because they're both two young teams, two young up-and-coming teams. I just think that would be a really exciting playoffs. And then if Memphis can get that 7th seed, Houston and Memphis, that will also be another exciting first-round matchup. Because what's the dude's name? Dylan Brooks used to play for Memphis.
Okay, I've heard that name. Yeah,
he plays for Houston now. Memphis was playing at the Lakers in the playoffs. Dylan Brooks was talking smack to LeBron. Then Memphis ended up losing that series, and then Dylan Brooks got traded to Houston. So. Now on the East side, Cleveland will play whoever comes out to play in tournament at number 8. Cleveland will get past the first round. I would say the most intriguing matchup for me in the East is the 4-5 matchup, which is Indiana and Milwaukee. So we know Dame is out.
Yeah.
But Giannis has been playing like the old Giannis. He's been put up monster numbers lately. But Indiana seems to have Milwaukee's number. I'm picking. Indiana eliminated Milwaukee last year in the playoffs, but Giannis was hurt, so he missed all of it. And then this year, Dame was hurt. So this is not bad luck for Milwaukee. But give me Milwaukee in 6. I'm not picking Indiana. Don't like them. And then you spoke on Detroit earlier. Years past, yes. Terrible. To the point last year, if Detroit won a game, they was giving out free chicken from Wingstop. It was crazy. It's crazy. I think actually, I think it was to the players if they won a game. Anyway, I don't quite remember. Anyway, Detroit has the triple amount of wins this year than they did last year. They're another young team. They're going to have a tall task. They're going to play New York with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Because of the Bulls, I don't know who to pick because Detroit beat up on Jordan in the 80s and the early 90s, and then the Bulls had a lot of hard matches with New York in the 90s. I guess because our brothers from Detroit, I'm gonna go with Detroit because they're young and up and coming. I like Cade Cunningham, their star player.
I was about to say, if you don't pick Detroit, Mike will be upset with you. He'll be upset with you.
Yeah, I just can't find myself rooting for the Knicks. I mean, Carmelo Anthony was one of my favorite players, and I rooted for him when they didn't play the Bulls. But that's about it. I'm not really a Knicks fan. And then Boston will play whoever becomes the 7th seed, and Boston will get past. They'll make it past the second round
easily. Yeah. Okay. That's a good breakdown.
Yeah. And I guess if I can just take a guesstimation, or I guess who I want to see in the finals. Oh, um, I say OKC versus. Oh, I don't know, Boston.
Really? Okay.
That's my prediction for the NBA Finals. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
and I want our listeners to write that down, or write who you think is going to be in the finals in the
Yeah,
comments.
definitely. Put that in the
Yeah,
comments. Let us know. Let's get your prediction in there and see whose prediction comes true as we follow through the NBA final, the NBA playoffs. A lot of games. Games start tomorrow. The play-in playoffs. So Marcus is giving his prediction. I have no prediction. I'm gonna go with Marcus because I know he know ball. I like he said, Boston and
just,
OKC in the finals.
just throw something out
I
there.
respect that. Eh,
Just throw something
I
out there.
mean, I think could the Lakers play Denver, or are they in the same bracket?
They, I mean, so the Lakers, hypothetically, if they win, they will play the winner of Houston and whoever. So the Lakers and Denver, if they played each other, it won't be until like the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, so I don't think we're gonna get a Lakers Warriors. What about is Cleveland in the same bracket as Boston, or could they play in
Uh,
the finals?
they wouldn't play each other until the Eastern Conference Finals if they met up.
Okay. Um. hmm. Since Detroit's doing so good, would Detroit and uh Boston play in the finals? Could they play in the finals?
They wouldn't play the finals. They would play each other in the second round if they
Oh,
both
see.
win.
So I'm going back to Marcus's pick, Boston and OKC, because I don't know the brackets.
Honestly, I expected you to say the Lakers and actually I expected you to say the Lakers and Boston.
Because they've played together in the finals though.
Yeah,
Haven't they recently?
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Lakers and Baltimore
I
have met
mean,
each other in the finals a lot of times.
a lot of
That's a
times. Yeah,
that's a
true.
huge that's a
True.
huge rivalry.
Huge
Huge.
driver. I think that would be good for that would really be good for the NBA to see that because it would
Yes.
be nostalgia and they would love that. The rivalry's always been there. It's something they could really promote really hard, and it'd be Luca's first finals. Would it be Luca's
No,
first
no.
finals?
Second. He made the
Wait,
finals, right?
second. He made the finals with Kyrie. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be his
Oh,
second one.
yeah. I don't. Right.
But
I mean,
it also would kill Dallas. Dallas would be so upset to see him go to the
hey,
finals his first year in a new
that
team.
that's their fault.
That is
That's
their
their
fault.
fault.
So that's my pick. Lakers in Boston. That's
I
my
was gonna
pick.
say.
For one, I'm a Lakers fan because I'm from LA, so that is my team. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
hope that
Lakers
does.
in Boston.
I hope that doesn't happen though. I mean, it's a good pick, but I hope it doesn't happen because I don't like neither one of those teams. Like I like Jason Tatum, but he plays for Boston. And I don't like Boston, and I like Luca, but he plays for the Lakers. And I don't like the Lakers. So yeah, but you're right. It would be good for the NBA for TV ratings because of those two fan bases. You definitely gonna
Yeah,
have viewership, and their
yep,
rivalry goes all the way back forever ago. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not a bad pick. It's not a bad pick.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think that would be good. But speaking of faraway sites in the future, we got a sneak peek at Supergirl. We got a sneak
Well,
peek to Supergirl on set, kind of little bit of video and some photos. It was kind of up from high, so it's kind of hard to see, but we can make out her costume a bit, and costume looks very comic accurate. So I'm cool with that. It looks good. I think she got the thigh high boots and the skirt and kind of the midriff shirt. You kind of can make it out. I believe in the video they showed her, she's on top of a tank, and she's throwing her coat down to getting ready for a scene. So I guess she was warming up, getting ready for a scene, throwing her coat down. And I believe the other person on that tank with her is Lobo. It looks like Lobo from a distance. But what makes me really believe it's Lobo, we got a set picture of Lobo as well. So Jason Momoa as Lobo. I forget who's playing Supergirl. It's the girl from House of Dragons, the first season before she got aged up. She has a really cool name, and I can't. I'm gonna try to Google it right quick because she got a really cool name. And I want. That's not it. Playing Supergirl, but like I said, we got another picture of Lobo, and Jason Momoa was on like a really dirty bike. But that's Lobo. He's a biker kind of super biker space bounty hunter kind of dude. A little bit, not a lot, but playing Supergirl. He looks okay. He doesn't look as cool, and I thought he would have like his shirt ripped off, his arms ripped off. I thought he would do that. But it looks kind of good. My question is, are we going to get, like, since these leaked out here, are we just going to get a HD version of these characters, seeing them? Because this is not how you want your characters first look to be, is from a telegraphic lens from way up high, and they kind of pixelated. You want a good HD look of them. And the lady that's playing Supergirl, her name is Millie Alcock. She was really good in House of the Dragon. She did a really good job in that. So I am interested to see how she does Supergirl. That's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, like I said, you want an HD version of their characters to come out when they first come out, so people get a good look at that character. But it is good to see some of it. I'm a little more excited for it, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little excited because I want to see Jason Momoa as Lobo. I want to see what he looks like and everything. I want to see how he moves, how he talks, if he embodies Lobo. This is a role he said he's been like clamoring to play. Like, he's like, I could be Lobo. I could do this, no problem. So that would be very interesting to see. But yeah, I'm hoping in the next week or two they show us a HD version of the of Supergirl in costume. They can hold off on Lobo, that's fine, but show us a HD version of Supergirl in costume, which would be very nice. We get a better look and something really cool to see of that character, because I think the Supergirl movie could be really cool, really good if the story that they're telling, Supergirl, Girl of Tomorrow, the story line is supposed to be a really good comic book, and that's the one they're basing off of. Could be good. Could be good. So we will only have to see. Marcus, what do you think? I forgot. I meant to send you the picture so you can see it. Let me see if I can. I think I got one of the pictures of Lobo. I screenshotted it. So I sent that to you. Let me know what you think about that. But yeah, like I said, it's slowly coming together. It's slowly coming together.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's supposed to be kind of dirty biker looking guy, and that's pretty on point. And I think Jason Momoa can pull that character off. I think he could do a good job with it. So I'm partially very excited for him being Lobo, but also Millie, I think, can be a good Supergirl and an adult Supergirl, which would be slightly different than the first Supergirl we've ever gotten, but this being the second one, there's still she could do so many different things with it, and I think that is a kind of refreshing in a way for DC live action movies because we've only had one Supergirl movie. We're finally getting a second Supergirl movie, so we're not just getting another Superman or another Batman movie. I know those are their like big tempo superheroes, but you guys have so many other superheroes you can show off and do stories on. Let's see these other superheroes. So yeah, what do you think about the picture though?
Yeah, you're definitely not going to get them confused with Aquaman in that picture.
I didn't even think about that. That is true. You're not gonna get it. Yep.
You're not going to look at them like, oh, that's Aquaman. What are you doing? No, you're definitely not. I think, yeah, this looks good. Like you said, it looks like a dirty, old, rusty motorcycle, and then kind of just
Hmm.
has that dirty look about them. So, and that's what they were going for. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. I think they're on the right path. I believe so. Only
Yeah.
time will tell if this is gonna be good. Um, I don't think we're gonna get a trailer. Maybe at the end of this year, we should get to see what Supergirl looks like because she's supposed to be in the Superman movie. She's supposed to be towards the end of the Superman movie. We'll see her, but I don't know if it'd be her in costume or her in like regular clothes or something like that. I'm hoping it's in costume. If it's not in costume, they're messing up. But I believe it'll be in costume, so we'll see that. But yeah, looking forward to it. Very excited. Hopefully they eventually send out some HD photos of her so you can see get a better look at her costume and how she looks in the costume and all that. And a better look at Lobo as well would be nice. I'm not pushing that off. I know they probably hold on to that for a little bit longer, but yeah, a better look at Lobo would be nice.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, because for a person like me, if I looked at it, we're like, why is Aquaman in a superhero movie? But he looks nothing like Aquaman. So I think
So
it's
I didn't
great.
even think about that. I didn't even think about that being that I, as a comic book reader, I'm used to Elseworld stories and one character being multiple characters and just switching and being able to just switch it. For somebody like you that don't read comic books and is not used to that, the fact that you were
Mhm.
able to key in on that immediately, like, yeah, he doesn't look like Aquaman. I won't get him confused like Aquaman. I think they'll be okay because that was one of the things people were worried that they would get a lot of people confused, thinking, well, he's not. Who is this guy? He's supposed to be Aquaman, not this Lobo guy. And the fact that you
Mhm.
were easily like, oh yeah, I can't get him confused with Aquaman. I think they'll be
Yeah,
okay. I think they'll be okay.
yeah. I just want to say shout out to Jason Momoa. Like the range, for goes from Aquaman to the Minecraft movie going on right now to this next, or is it Lobo character?
I I will say smart on him getting roles that are more that don't have to do with deep acting and has to do with just his personality. He picks
Yeah,
roles that fit his personality that shines through because he seems like an amazing person, really cool
yeah.
dude, funny, energetic. Acting, I've seen him act in other stuff where it was kind of more serious. Not the greatest serious actor.
Okay, okay.
I'm
I
not
was
trying to
going.
hate on my man. I'm just being honest.
I was going to ask you that. I was. You answered my question before I can even ask it. That was going to be my question. So,
he
no.
he is so much better in roles where he gets to be his character is more tied to his normal personality and it shines through. Like Aquaman. Lobo. Those fit his personality of being energetic, fun, bright, like center of the universe kind of person. Those fit his roles. Him being a I'm not saying he can't do it. I just saying I haven't seen him do it in some of the deeper roles he's tried to take on. Um, like in what is it? Dang it! Was House of Dragon? Not House of Dragon. What's it called? Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. In that, he barely talks. He barely talks. It's a lot of face acting, but it's mean face acting, which he does okay in. He does okay. Never great. You never like, he moved me with his face acting. You never say that. But you understand what he was going for in that scene. But I feel like I'm hating on him. I'm not hating on him. I think he's been picking good roles for himself that keep him his name in people's mouths, his name around town, and he shows them off in a positive way. Like Aquaman, very positive for him. Very positive. And I think this Lobo is going to be very positive for him. The Minecraft movie is just pushed him into a different stardom, I believe, and it's going to make him more give him younger fans too. I think it's going to give him younger fans because they're going to make a sequel. This movie's already close to making 600 million, so it's already halfway to $1 billion. So I think it might make $1 billion. So they're going to make a sequel, and he's most likely going to be in it. He'd be a fool not to be, and that's going to keep him in younger fans' eyes, and they're going to grow up with him. So every person that played Minecraft is going to hear about a Minecraft movie, and they're going to see Jason Momoa. It also does great for Jack Black. It gives him brand new fans that fall in love with him. Now they're going to backtrack and look at his old stuff, which is still hilarious. And they were like, who is this guy? He's hilarious. So it's all about the roles you pick. Actors, when they pick the right roles, can do amazing things in those roles. But then you get actors that think they're, I won't say better than they are, but try to elevate their craft before it's time for them to elevate, and they kind of fall flat on their face. And people are like, you can't act as well as you think you can. So Jason Momoa doing a good job of picking his roles, picking stuff that highlights his attributes. He's on top of it. Touche to his team. Touche to him. Very much so. But yeah, that is my first superhero topic of the night. Marcus, what you got for your second topic?
Well, let's talk a little Coach Prime. So it's been a few weeks ago now, but Deion Sanders signed a 5-year, $54 million contract extension with the University of Colorado, making him the highest paid coach in the Big 12 and the 6th highest paid coach in college football. His salary increases annually and his buyout decreases. That means so if the university buys him out his contract early, he gets paid more money. Like each year he's further into no, wait, I said that wrong. His salary increases annually, so each year his salary goes up.
Okay.
But the buyout decreases, so if he wants to get bought out his contract because he wants to leave,
gotcha.
then the amount of money he will get paid is lower. Okay.
Gotcha.
So the contract includes performance-based bonuses, and Sanders' presence has significantly boosted applications to the University of Colorado and its economic impact. Because it's prime time. Like celebrities, people, they come Colorado. They want to be there. So let's just talk about Deion's impact on the University of Colorado since he's been there. Applications for the university has increased 20% from a year ago to over 67,000, including a 18% increase from out of state. Applications for prospective students who identify as Black African American increased by 50%, 50.5%. Uh, Colorado sold out all but two home games during the last season.
Hmm.
And let's see, home football games in 2024 brought a combined of 93.9 million in direct economic impact to Boulder, Colorado, and 146.5 million in total regional economic impact. We'll talk about a stimulus package. Uh,
Yeah. Wow.
Also, Deion's extension uh, at Colorado is boosting recruits, so they're getting better players recruiting. His president is encouraging potential recruits and even those who initially hesitated because some recruits was hesitant to go to Colorado because they didn't know what Deion was going to do. But
Understandable.
now that he's locked in, kids want to go.
Exactly. They're
Uh,
like, you here, you gonna stay here, you gonna be
yep.
here for a while. I could be here for a while. Okay.
It says the
True.
program's unique recruiting strategy, which relies heavily on transfers and Coach Prime's appeal and providing, yeah. So by having Dion locked in, they are getting better recruits. You have kids going through transfer portal because you can do that now. So
Yeah.
I want to
Okay.
say
Oh yeah.
shout out to Coach Prime. NFL draft will be coming up soon. I think the end of this month. It's up in Green Bay. So we'll see what happens with Shador Sanders, see where he gets
Yep.
drafted, see what happens with Cam Ward, see where he gets drafted, and Travis Hunter. So
Yeah. Them if they get drafted decent numbers, that's something else he can kind of put in a books of, hey, you want to come play for the team that got these guys drafted this high? I mean, you can
yeah.
use some of that to try to get recruits in, try to get big names.
Oh yeah.
Because the
But
moment you get,
anybody that's in college football knows at this point knows who Dion is. Like even
true,
these young
true,
guys who don't watch nothing in the past should know who Dion is by now. I mean this was
true.
a two-star athlete, professional baseball and professional football. I believe he's
Yeah.
played. I believe he played like a playoff baseball game
And then
earlier in the
played in
day,
a.
and then played for the Cowboys later that same day.
Yeah, I
Like this,
remember that.
I think the only professional athlete who's done two professional sports before, besides Deion Sanders, was Bo Jackson, because he played
Yeah.
baseball as well. So
I
yeah.
mean, your guy did it too. He
Oh no,
he
he
did it
retired.
for a little
He
bit.
retired from basketball.
Did he? Okay. Okay.
He
And then went
retired
to
from basketball.
baseball,
Went to
and
baseball.
then
Came
came
back
back.
in
Okay.
came back in the middle of 1995. What? See, that's nostalgia. I'll never forget that. Still living in Chicago. It was a Sunday afternoon. The Bulls was playing the Indiana Pacers on NBC. And when Jordan came back, he just sent the fax that said, "I'm back." That's all it said. Came back, came back in a 4-5 jersey. They was wearing red uniforms that game too. Well, I tell you, I remember it. Now,
Like it was yesterday.
now I remember if they won or lost. I don't remember that part. They might have lost. I, I don't remember.
That don't matter. That does change the memory.
But yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. So
So yeah,
Coach
shout out to
Prime living up to his promise. Said this is
yeah,
what he was gonna do. Um, doing his thing. I can't be mad at him. Um, can't be mad at him. Yeah. Jesus.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
helping out the school, the economy. Got students coming down for him too. So African Americans said that 50%. That's a lot.
That is a lot. That is a lot. And he getting his money too. He getting his
Yeah.
paycheck. So
I mean, it looks like a beautiful campus. I've been to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and so that's a view I've had with the mountains just in the background of like a city.
Hmm.
So I would imagine that's what Boulder looks like, with the city and the football stadium. You just got the mountains sitting back there in the background. So yeah, shout out to them. I hope Coach Prime continues to have success. And now next up is win some bowl games. That's winning some of these bowl games. That would be the next step for University of Colorado Coach Prime. So they're getting it. Sounds
Okay.
like they'll be getting the talents and like that start to happen. So
Mm-mm. Oh, that's nice. Speaking of, oh, dang, I had it and I lost it. Speaking of prime time, we're gonna talk about the prime time viewing Thunderbolts is getting. The tracking for the box office is coming on board, so they're seeing what people who is buying pre-order tickets for this Thunderbolt movie and seeing where it's gonna go. Not one of my best segues, but they all can be gems. Um, but yeah, it's looking like as of right now, tracking shows Thunderbolts will have a lower opening weekend than Captain America 4, Brave New World. That's not something they wanted to hear. They wanted to hear that it was going to be doing a lot better than that. The they've also come out and told us our people have kind of figured out the story and figured out what some things are going to be happening in the movie. And it seems that Bucky might not be the lead of Thunderbolts. It might be dang it, I forget her name. Not the original Black Widow, but the new Black Widow, Florence Pugh's character. I forget her character's name, but she might be the lead of this movie. Um, which I don't know how people are gonna take that because people get upset when females lead Marvel movies, unfortunately, which sucks. But that's what it's looking like. So it's looking like the movie's gonna be from her point of view to an extent. I think it's gonna switch at one certain point to her point of view. Could be wrong. These could be misinformation people has gotten, and they could have re-edited the movie some different type of way too. Um, some people are actually upset they showed too much Sentry and kind of gave away the secret of Sentry and his counterpart. If you don't know, I'm not going to spoil that for you, but they think they've given that away because that's kind of one of the biggest secrets about Sentry, which is a cool secret, and a lot of people didn't know, not even in the comic books until halfway through his run. But that's comic books. You can't do the same thing in the movie meet and the cinematic lens. You kind of have to give some of that stuff away and do it a different way. But um, another reason they feel the box office is low is because of Fantastic Four as well. So I'm gonna kind of talk about two stories in one: Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. So Fantastic Four also is advertising right now for their movie, which is coming out later this year. Marvel's only putting out 3 movies this year. They put out Captain America 4, Brave New World. They're putting out Thunderbolts, and they're putting out Fantastic Four. Those are only 3. Unfortunately, Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts are summer movies, so they don't. They're right at the beginning of summer, and I think at the end of summer. So they're not a lot of space between those movies. So they're advertising them kind of at the same time. So people are getting a lot of Fantastic Four stuff when they want Thunderbolt stuff, and then they're getting a lot of Thunderbolt stuff when they want more Fantastic Four stuff, which is kind of giving them a kind of un not letting you sit in one too long, like not giving you time to be excited for one because you know that another one's right around the corner. And that's something that Marvel was able to do back in the day when they made you very excited for a movie and made it must watch. Like they made you must want to go see that movie. Now it's kind of, I can see this or I can't see it. The story is still going on, and they really need to figure out a way to get back to that. But we did get more information on Fantastic Four as well. They put out a poster. People are upset with the poster because they think their hair looks terrible and not 60s. I don't know. That's just some weird stuff. But we find out they're actually doing reshoots for Fantastic Four, I believe. And we found out that they're changing some of the characters. We also found out, spoilers if you didn't know this, because they talk about it in one of the trailers. Sue is actually pregnant in the trailer, so she's going to be pregnant in the movie, and I believe this is going to be the first pregnant woman in a Marvel movie or pregnant superhero in a Marvel movie, which that's kind of cool. But they also, the movie's supposed to be more focused around her. Reed Richards might not be the lead of that movie, which, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but kind of no, because you want to follow Reed Richards. They're also changing Reed Richards' character a bit to make him a little nicer and not such a asshole as he usually is in the comic books, which could be a good change and a bad change. They also are changing Johnny Storm. They're making him less of a sexy guy. They're really focused on him being more smarter than he is, or that he is smart, which is not a problem, but that was your sex appeal in that movie. It's Johnny. He's always been kind of a sex symbol. That's his thing. A playboy, womanizer. They're kind of taking that away, which could be good or bad depending on how you do it. But it might be bad because even Marvel's rivals use his sex appeal in his character. And his new character on Marvel Rivals, they made him super sexy. I assume that's what people are saying. I don't play Marvel Rivals, unfortunately. But they're saying they kind of lean into the sexy aspect of Johnny Storm. Also, with Sue Storm, there's, I forget her alter ego. She has an alter ego, and the lady that's playing Sue Storm said she wants to bring that alter ego into the cinematic world eventually. It's when Sue gets like so upset with Frank, and she becomes like not evil but a bad girl and starts wearing these really skimpy costumes, which is the thing they did back in like the 80s and 90s with comic book characters. They dressed women really scantily clad. It was weird, very weird, because these comic books were mostly for kids. But the actress says she's trying to use some of that in her acting of Sue Storm right now, so you can see that part of her is there, which is a really cool nod, and probably a way you will see her eventually down the road. But they also say that this movie is set in kind of two times. One time of them being astronauts and going into space, and what happens to them after they come back in space. And that also revolves around Sue being pregnant. If you don't know her, she has two kids in the comic books. Dang it, I just blanked on their names. Oh, crap. I blanked on their names. One of their kids is a boy who has matter-altering powers, so that could be led into this story as well with them. But yeah, like I said, these are the things they're doing. Hopefully the reshoots are good. Every movie does reshoots, so that's not something to be too worried about. But you can't pull away from the character people know too much, but characters do need to evolve. So I can understand you wanting to change a few things about them, make them more modern. I get that, but don't lose the essence of those characters in the process. And unfortunately, we've already seen a Fantastic Four movie, and it was The Incredibles. The Incredibles are basically Fantastic Four. They did it in the 60s and the 70s too. So that's kind of the blueprint of a Fantastic Four movie already done in animation. And the fact that you guys have to compete with Incredible and Elastigirl having scenes where she stretched and did her thing. Hopefully Reed Richards can stretch just as good as her, if not better, to have scenes that compare to that. It's gonna be hard because those Elastigirl scenes are really good. Really good. That first Incredible movie is amazing. The second Incredible movie is pretty good. Not as good as the first, but still good. Still really high bar. So only time will tell with that. Also with the Thunderbolts, they ended with a big comic book movie ending that's from like a certain comic book. Somebody told me, but I haven't read that comic book, so I don't know what that ending is. So I'm gonna still be surprised. So I'm not gonna dig into it anymore right now because that'll probably ruin it for me. But yeah, those are the two Marvel movies that are coming out this year, and kind of the issues are happening with them. It's upsetting because you want Marvel to get back on track of making good projects, and unfortunately, two projects you've been waiting that look really good trailers, but Fantastic Four finally getting getting into the MCU, and it might not be as great as people were hoping for. Because this is the first Marvel family, and people were really, really high expectations for them in their movie. And unfortunately, it might not be great, even though they're making really good trailers. I heard they got really good trailers. But yeah, any questions on that, Marcus? Any thoughts?
No.
You've seen The Incredibles, right?
Yes.
That was really good, right? That's really good. Did you like it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, The Incredibles are the Fantastic Four. They just switched two characters' powers, but the other two characters have powers that the Fantastic Four have, and it's basically the same thing: a family of superheroes.
You know what? You're right. I've never thought about that until when you said it earlier. I was like, yeah, he is.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm still kind of excited to see Thunderbolts because I like the last trailer. I know they're probably gonna send one more trailer before the movie comes out. Which that's a good question. When does that movie come out? I'm gonna try to stall while I Google this, but I don't think they should. They probably should put out another trailer, but I don't want them to spoil too much about it. Comes out May 2nd. Ooh, that's about
that's soon.
2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks. So yeah, they'll probably put out another trailer. 2.5 weeks. They'll put out another trailer and they'll probably spoil some stuff. So normally I wouldn't look at the trailer, but since we do this show, I'm probably gonna have to talk about the newest trailer when it does come out. So I'll spoil that trailer for you guys when it comes out, unfortunately, and probably spoil the movie. But yeah, that should be coming out in May 2nd. I'll be going to see that. I'm kind of interested to see what because they've been talking it up, saying it's one of the best Marvel movies they made in a long time. So fingers crossed it's actually good. We'll have to see when it does come out. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Are you going to see Thunderbolts? Have you had pre-order tickets yet? What do you think about the changes to Fantastic Four characters? Kind of their whole personality and their character. What do you think about that? Do you think that's good or bad? Do you think they're doing reshoots to probably adjust what they've already done and be like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. Maybe we shouldn't change this. What do you guys think? Hit us in the comments. Let us know on your thoughts on that.
All right. So my last, I'm just going to throw out some things that's happened in the sports world that didn't have time to get to because I went quite long on my first topic at the beginning. Um, for those of you who don't know, the WNBA draft was tonight. Paige Beckers got selected number one to the Dallas Wings. Shout out to her. Cannot wait to see her play in the W this summer. Um, and then Haley Van Leaf got drafted by the Chicago Sky. So now she'll be reunited back with Angel Reese this coming season. So
Okay.
shout out to all the women that got drafted tonight in the WNBA draft. I hope they all do well, have an injury free season, and they all play well, have a good season.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I have. This story is so LeBron. He has a Ken Ambassador Barbie doll that just came out. I think
What?
this past weekend, I believe it was.
Okay.
It's like LeBron. He has on. I mean, it's exactly what you think it is. It's a LeBron Barbie doll.
Hmm.
Apparently they were sold at Target. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, he has on a baseball hat with like the crown, a blue and white
Okay.
jacket that says LJ on it, like plaid pants, sunglasses, I think some Beats headphones, and some white and blue shoes. And I think that's a fanny pack, but that's not what they called it these days. Yeah, so he has a few accessories. So shout out to LeBron and
Oh
his
wow. I'm looking at it right now.
yeah. So
He got it.
yeah.
I guess he got accessories. He got a head. He got headphones. He had glasses.
Oh, he has on a watch
Uh,
too.
he got a watch on. This is wild. I
What?
mean,
I
wow.
think the Dow for those of you, well, it's probably too late now, but the Dow was $75.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on StockX for like 175. I'm seeing it on eBay for like 200.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
Jesus, they done went up in price.
not that I would have wanted to go get one, but I didn't realize that they were being sold at Target, which was, I mean, that's good if you wanted one, because like instead of being like exclusive things that you have to go to one of these specialty stores. So shout
I
out to
can't see.
LeBron
I guess they
and
made
Bart.
his hairline
What?
sharp.
Well, you
Try to see if
know
he
he
got a
would have.
bald spot.
Come on, now you know he has some creative process in the matter. You weren't gonna let that happen.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I ain't mad at him. Do your thing. Get your money, bruh. Get your money, and that's gonna be around forever. He
No,
got it's a Leatherman jacket, like a high school Leatherman jacket with it's
that's
very
good.
descript. So you can't
That's,
say he's on either team. So that's smart. It's not bad. It's not bad.
yeah, it's a collective item if you're a big LeBron fan like that. So
Which there are a lot of LeBron fans, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be. That's your
yeah.
king. That's your king. I understand.
Well,
Um,
isn't this something? Apparently, it's at my it's at my local Target. Wait, actually, no, it's not. It's saying it's in
Marcus, we don't
stock
shop
at.
at Target right now, though.
No,
We
I
don't shop
don't.
at Target.
No, I. But I'm saying it's at the local Target.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
all I've said. It's at the local talk. So yeah,
I
how
can
long?
see
How long?
if they start doing like legend series of these and do a Kobe one next, and then Michael Jordan and Doctor. Dang, what's his
Doctor
name?
Doctor J.
Dr. J. That
Oh,
I think
Magic,
that would be cool.
Magic and Bird.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Cool.
Um, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting. I think that'd be pretty neat. Um, now if they would do it, that would be different. I think they would have to. It's a lot of legal stuff they have to go through with likeness and all that. So that might make it difficult. But other than that, yeah, I think that would be cool. Um, so you think this was a collaboration with him and Barbie? Because it does
Oh
say
yeah,
Barbie.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's definitely a collaboration.
it does say Barbie. I think I seen that a while ago, and I just thought because I know people are doing making their own like action figures right now. Celebrities
Oh
are
yeah.
making their own action figures when they're just putting in some AI thing.
I mean, people been doing that for a long time though. Like even before AI, people would make like action figures or dolls of celebrities. So this
Okay.
is, I mean, this is really not. I mean, this is like as far as Barbie, like a well-known company that make it, but
Mm-hmm.
like people who's been doing this for years.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Oh wow. Yeah, that doll's definitely gonna be on the thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm putting the doll on the thumbnail. I think that's hilarious. Speaking of miniature action figures, we got some set leak photos from Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday set photos. Here's the thing though. Some people saying some of this photos are fake. Um, Marvel has done this to us before where they gave us a whole trailer with scenes we thought were going to happen, and they did not happen in that scene at all. So there's a good chance that these are fake, but we don't care. We get to see set photos. They're kind of grainy. They're not great. The first one is like you see this big field, and like it looks like bomb holes where like somebody either drop out of the ground, hit the dirt, make a little crater, just like Yamcha in the crater in Dragon Ball Z when he got beat up. So there's a couple different craters like that, and one of the other set photo we see is James Marsden, who plays Cyclops, is talking to Wong, who is the Sorcerer Supreme. If you don't remember, he became the Sorcerer Supreme in Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. He became the Sorcerer Supreme in that. So it means that if you do a whole bunch of guessing, Wong is there because something's going on with the X-Man's dimension, and he's there trying to stop whatever's happening because he's supposed to be in charge of different universes as a Sorcerer Supreme. He's supposed to be protecting them and stuff like that. So we see James Marsden kind of talking to him, which is cool. We knew Wong was supposed to be in this movie. Um, I I I'm very interested to see what he's doing. It's just, I really think this movie is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, crazy. But we have another set photo of James Marsden again talking to Magneto. I forget the guy's name that plays Magneto, but they're talking to each other. So we get two X-Men talking to each other. It's really weird that we're only seeing the X-Men, so I'm thinking they're shooting all the X-Men stuff right now. Oh my god, I just thought about it. This could be could that be the Danger Room? Um So Magneto looked like he's in costume. Was he in costume? It looked like he might have been in costume. Hold on, let me see. I think he was in costume. Cyclops wasn't in costume. Um, he was just in regular clothes. He wasn't in costume or anything like that. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. What is that? I can see that. Where's these set leaks? Come on. I should have saved it. Um, X-Men. Let's see if we get that. No. But yeah, these are very interesting to see. We already know they're in production right now. Um, and we know that they were, yeah, it does look like that. Okay. So it kind of looks like he's wearing the same glasses he was wearing in the X-Men movies. So it kind of looks like that. But we know, oh yeah, that's true. So we know Cyclops died in the X-Men movies. Spoilers, you haven't seen that, but it's super old, so I'm not spoiling anything for you. But if you haven't, I'm sorry, my bad. But we know he died in those X-Men movies, and we I think the X-Men we're gonna see in this X-Men in this Avengers Doomsday movie aren't X-Men from the X-Men universe we know. I think they're gonna be from another universe with different X-Men that are slightly different than the X-Men we know, but look like the X-Men we know, which makes perfect sense because the Beast we saw in Marvel's extra extra credit scene wasn't the Beast we knew from the X-Men. So it's safe to say that they're gonna be a different X-Men. Um, there is a rumor that RDJ's Tony Stark, who becomes Doom's Doctor Doom, believes he is saving the world and not realizing he's destroying the world or recreating the world. This might be vaguely what the story is. And we're gonna have an X-Men team, um, an Avengers team, a Fantastic Four team, and another and an older Avengers team all come together to fight him to stop him from doing what he's doing. That is the somewhat premise of what people are saying Doomsday is about. I think that sounds like an amazing premise, honestly. It's gonna be really good. Honestly, it's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. So thrilled. I can't wait to see more set photos. Um, I want to see Cyclops in X-Men Cyclops costume. I want to see him in the full costume because if you didn't watch X-Men '97, Cyclops has become a really cool. He's gotten really more popular than back in the day. And I think him being in that costume, and if they do half of the stuff he did on X-Men '97, I think Cyclops is gonna blow up a lot bigger in live action, and we want to see way more of him. They still have to kind of explain, or I guess they explain it through dimensions. Oh, they did do it that. Okay, never mind. I just realized they did do that in Marvel's how they move dimensions. Yeah, they did that, so that's gonna work. But yeah, those set leaks, if you've seen them, let me know what you think about them. Put them in the comments. Are you excited for this? Are you excited to see more set leaks? That's pretty much what we've been getting lately is set leaks. I seen a, I don't know. I know if this one's really fake. I seen a picture of possibly Doctor Doom in his Doom costume, but it was super grainy and hard to tell. So that could have been really fake. I think it might have been fake. It's so hard to take anything serious on the internet nowadays because everybody's always faking stuff. But yeah, that's the last story I have for tonight. Uh, Thank you guys for coming, watching, listening, hanging out with us. Appreciate it so much. Thanks again to our voicemail message. Appreciate the support. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Follow us on all our social media platforms down below. If you have a question, use the email, send us a question. If you have a voice message, use the voice message, send us a voice message. It could be a minute long. Anything after that, it gets cut off. So make it a minute long. Say what you got to say. Say it quick. Hit the question quick. Don't be weird. Give us not weird questions, and we'll be gladly to answer. But yeah, appreciate you guys listening, checking us out, listening to us. Thank you for all the support. And if we did this right, this is visual, so you see our faces now. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.